Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Dr. Gustavo Tolosa, known as the plant powered pianist. I am a concert pianist and educator and the founder of Plantimus. And I've been doing whole food plant based uh, food eating for 13 years now. You may know me. I know many of you here, but if you're new to my world, I don't know, you may know me from my YouTube channel or maybe from the book that Shada and I wrote, which is called Live Your Healthiest Life, or maybe you know me from the hundreds of webinars that I did with Dr. McDougall, Chef AJ, and just about every plant-based doctor and chef, psychologists such as Dr. McDougall and many more. Maybe you know me from my Facebook page, which is called the Starch Solution, or maybe from my 7-day immerse program that is called The Power of Us. So I like to do a lot of things, and most of the things that I do are free because I do want my mission is to help as many as possible, as many people as possible. Okay, the program that I run that is called The Power of Us is based on simplicity and community support. Okay, so yes, everything that we are going to do these 3 days here is 100% whole food plant based. There is going to be no meat, no dairy, no eggs, no oils, but the flavor is not going to suffer. Okay, lots of flavor, comforting food, and a lot of joy. So someone made a comment the other day that we shouldn't eat for comfort. So, that's great if that's you. But for some of us, including me, I eat for pleasure many times. And yes, even comfort at times. So if you eat for comfort, especially as we approach this holiday season, then let's make the food, this healthy food that we want to eat, let's make it as flavorful and delicious as possible. Okay, so some of you may be new to plant-based eating, and I want you to know something, okay, if that's you. Plant-based food can be as rich, comforting, flavorful, and even decadent as anything that you grew up with. You don't need to have animal products to make holiday food taste amazing. That may be just a choice, but you don't really need it. And the casseroles that we're going to learn during these 3 days hopefully will prove that. So every day for these next 3 days that we will be together, what I want to do is not only give you some recipes, of course, that's the main purpose here, but I will start each day with some ideas and strategies to conquer the holidays and just sail through them. I think I have a lot to share. I've had you know um, the blessing to learn from such great doctors and chefs, and I want to share with you as much of what I learned as possible. So, what is today's strategy? Okay, I want you to get one. If I want you to get one thing out of today, is that holidays don't need to test your willpower. They will test your planning. Okay, so planning is today's word. I'm going to give you three actually. So, planning. You can plan to win. If you don't plan, you don't know what's going to happen, but you can plan to win. Plan your food ahead of time. Plan your menu. Plan what you will do and what you will say at social gatherings. Plan even where you will sit. So plan, plan, plan. That is one of the best strategies that I can share with you. Yes, it takes time, okay, but it is worth it when you wake up on January 1st and you will feel great that you stayed, that that you're healthy, you're energetic, and perhaps that you even lost a few pounds. So planning is one of the words for today. Flexibility is the other word for today. Okay, flexibility. What do I mean by that? I mean that during this time of the year, a little higher calorie density and a little higher amount of fat, always plant based, can be a game changer. Rather than fighting the cravings all the time and really getting frustrated and exhausted, you have to ask yourself, what is it really that I'm craving? Is it salt? Is it fat? Is it sugar? Is it flour? Find recipes that will calm down those cravings. Hopefully, some of these recipes, or all the ones that I'm going to share with you, will calm those cravings without combining these things that I just mentioned that are unnatural. They're man-made. When you combine salt and fat, or sugar and fat, or sugar and fat and flour, those things are never combined in nature. Those were man-made. So we can still have all the flavor and richness without combining all of them. So we will have a little bit of flexibility, which is going to help you sail through the holidays. We will plan. And number three, the word is anchoring, anchor, having a food that anchors you. I'll talk about that in just a minute, okay? But just imagine yourself walking into a room, okay? And a holiday gathering with no plan, and you start to smell the food, and maybe you take a little bite here, and those foods have emotional memories, and the brain goes, yes, let's party, okay? And we fall into the old habits. You know what happens. I've gone through them and I still have to fight it. It's really never, they never disappear. It gets easier, okay? But when we walk in already nourished, already satisfied for the food we've eaten during the day, our mind, our brain is calm. We don't feel deprived and we don't get tempted as easily. We may get tempted, but it's not as easy when you have prepared. That's why in this 3-day series of casseroles for the holidays, we will indulge in a little richer than usual meals. It's not junk food, it's not unhealthy, just a bit more dense, enough to quiet your brain so you don't feel that you're missing out. I like what my friend Chef AJ says. She says something like this. Listen carefully, okay? Because this, she came up with this, is brilliant. Eat the least restrictive diet that gives you the results that you desire. Eat the least restrictive diet that gives you the results you desire. This will vary from person to person. If there's 100 people here, it'll be 100 different answers, okay? But what that means is that for some of you, you might need to be eating a little more restrictive than others, but you learn how to do this. And hopefully, I'll talk more about it. Okay. So your result might be, I mean, the end result after all of these holidays are gone, your end result might be something like, I want to stay plant-based during the holidays, even if it's not whole food, but I want to stay plant-based. Or your result may be that you don't want to gain any weight. Maybe you're not looking to lose, but at least not gain. Or maybe the result would be that you want to lose, even if it's 1 pound, that would be great during the holidays. Okay. Or maybe the result is going to be that when you wake up on January 1st, you will feel confident and positive and stronger than ever to start your 2026 in a healthy way. So during the holidays, that least restrictive version might actually be the casseroles, like the one we're going to cook today and the ones we're going to cook this week. They could actually be a lifesaver, okay, that will keep you on track without feeling deprived. So I just want to underline something here. I know I have a variety of people. Some of you are very strict and very focused. Maybe others are just starting. Others are more flexible. Okay, wherever you are, these casseroles that we're going to learn during these 3 days are not really meant to be your daily food all year long for 11 months of the year. See these casseroles as our holiday armor, is the shield. These casseroles are going to be the shield that will help you stay strong and not feeling deprived. Okay. So you probably heard this many times. I've said it before. Oh, let's just survive the holidays. Or if I could just survive the holidays, well, we're not here to survive this time. From now on, I'm changing my motto and I'm saying I'm here to conquer the holidays. It all begins with the mindset. Okay. So that's what we're going to do. A successful anchor meal is any meal that sets your blood sugar and your hormones and your brain chemistry. It sets it up for a smoother day. You know what one of these best anchors is? Well, what we're gonna do today: a warm, comforting, fiber-rich breakfast like the baked oatmeal. That's what I'm gonna show you today: the baked oatmeal. When you start your day with steady fuel like oats, it becomes so much easier to say no to the cookies or the pastries or the candy bowls, the office treats, anything like that. When you anchor your day with the right food, then you anchor your holidays with the right choices. So, one of the things that I notice as I sometimes coach one-on-one people is that some people set the bar too high, and for some that could be counterproductive. Relax a bit, especially during this time of year. Avoid becoming a hardcore fanatic. I know there are some people who have truly extraordinary capacity to control themselves 24/7, and I know some of them. Many of us, I don't even know if to say most of us, don't. So, and that's okay, and for those of us who don't have that capacity to, be totally strict 24/7, Then we learned the 680 calorie density rule that Dr. Lyle teaches, and I'll talk about that later. The 680 calorie density per pound is truly a magic, you know, strategy here. We'll talk about it later. Okay, so let's begin. But before we begin, check your email for an email from me. It will probably say Cartra or it might say Plantimus. That email is going to bring you the recipe of tonight, and it's going to bring you the replay, and I'm going to type a summary of the strategies that we just talked about. If for some reason you have unsubscribed from my list before, or you have clicked on the button that says "Don't contact me again," then my emails are not going to get to you, unfortunately. If that happens, if you don't get an email from me by tomorrow morning, send me an email and I will respond. Okay. My email is, let me see if I can type it for you here. Many of you already have my email, but here it is. Okay, that's my email. That's my personal email. I'm the only one who sees that. So if by tomorrow morning you haven't received the email with the replay and the recipe, let me know. Okay, let's get started. So, oh, I think you're going to love this. I'm not going to take credit for this recipe. Um, I'm going to make later on a recipe of my own, and then a recipe from Shada from our book. But the one that I'm going to show you now comes from Forks Over Knives. That's a website, and they also publish a magazine. This is a delicious baked oatmeal casserole that you can have it as breakfast or brunch when you go somewhere or when you have people over and you want to have something rich, satisfying, but yet plant-based. So what I did to make it run smoother is I filmed it, I recorded it, and that way it doesn't lag, because when you cook live it can take double the time. So let's go ahead and watch this delicious recipe here. Here we go.
In an 8-inch baking dish or 2-quart baking dish, we will add 3 cups of rolled oats, 1 tablespoon of vanilla powder. It could be liquid vanilla as well. And probably it's going to be a little more, maybe a tablespoon and a half, and a teaspoon of cinnamon. Half cup raisins. And now let's mix this really well before we add the wet ingredients. This you can, once it's all mixed with all the wet ingredients, you can cover it and keep it in the refrigerator overnight or probably up to 2 days. And you can bake it whenever you're ready to serve it. This recipe comes from Forks Over Knives. Okay, so I want to give them credit for this because that's where I saw it in the Forks Over Knives magazine. If you don't like cinnamon, for example, or you want a little different flavor, you can add like apple pie mix or a pumpkin spice mix or something like that. This one has the vanilla, and the cinnamon. Okay, well, I think it's pretty well mixed. So now what we're going to do is add 3/4 cup water, and we will add 3 cups of plant milk. Anything. I have almond milk that I have made. I like to make milk because then I know what it has. It only has 2 ingredients. It has the almonds and the water. And that's it. Nothing added. If you buy already made plant milk, please make sure that it doesn't have anything like oil or salt or some other chemicals. And then there is 1/4 cup of maple syrup. I think that it needs it, and it's not that much. Okay. And especially if you're going to serve it to people who are not whole food plant based followers. Okay, we're ready to bake this. So what we're going to do is add a cup of blueberries and 1 cup of raspberries. They can be frozen like these, or they can be fresh, either one. So what you want to do is spread them evenly. And then we will top it off with 1/2 cup of sliced almonds, which is optional. Or if you prefer to use walnuts, let's say, instead of almonds, you can do that, or any other kind of nut, or you can leave it out. Okay. So it's ready to go in the oven at 350 degrees for about 40 minutes, and it's going to be uncovered or until it's bubbly around the edges. Okay. And then we will let it stand for about 10-15 minutes. So let's go ahead. I am going to use the sliced almonds here. Remember that we're doing this to have something a little bit richer so that we can easily say no to any other tempting food that is on the table. And we're not going to be eating this every day throughout the year. This is for a special occasion. And if it is going to help you to stay away from something that is not health promoting and something that is not plant based, then that's great. That's what this strategy is all about. Okay, there we go. It's going to the oven. And look at this beauty. It is kind of brown on the sides. And we will let it cool now for at least 15-20 minutes. And then I will try it for you. I will sacrifice and give it a try. Well, it is cooled off. It's time to cut a nice piece here. I'm going to cut a square. And it really, it looks very good. You know, for a little extra touch of decadence, you could drizzle some maple syrup on it. So look at that. Hey, let's see what it tastes like. Okay, let's get a piece that has the raspberry, blueberry, and the almond all in one, like that. Mmm, very creamy, very creamy. And obviously, you can taste the raspberry and the blueberry. Mm, mhm, very good. It's just about sweet. If you want to give this to people that are used to eating more sugar, you definitely would have to add um, more maple syrup. Maybe instead of a fourth of a cup, half of a cup. Or you could chop some dates and put it in the mixture to bake it as well. Because, or like I said, you could drizzle maple syrup. It's okay for me, but I think that for people that are more used to eating sugar, this is not going to be sweet enough. Mm, just delicious. Make sure that you don't leave it in the oven too long because then it's going to be dry. If you want to leave it longer, then add probably another cup of water or another cup of plant milk. But that's all I can say. That it is very good. So thumbs up for the baked oatmeal.
Well, I hope I didn't make you too hungry with that, but it's great because it's still very low calorie density, and that still qualifies as whole food. When you think about it, you have oats, you have blueberries and raspberries, and really the plant milk. And the only thing that it would be more processed is the maple syrup. And if you don't want to use maple syrup, I think what I will do next time, I'm going to chop dates. That's what I'm going to, or use date syrup. So let's see if you have any. I'm going to email you the recipe, but if you go to Forks Over Knives website and you type baked oatmeal with blueberries and raspberries, you're going to find it. But I'm going to email it to you anyway. And as a thank you for attending today, I will also send you another casserole that I think you will like. So you're going to get two. I didn't tell you that, but you're going to get two for one, right? So does anybody have any questions or comments or ideas, anything like that? Please, you can type or you can unmute. Just know that if you unmute, I'm recording this, so your voice is going to be heard. But otherwise, and now I'm reading your comments. Okay. Let's see if there's anything. Do you think it would be good made all with water? I think so. I think so because I'm usually when I make oatmeal, is I never use any milk. I've learned how to make it creamy enough that I just use water. So I think it would be just fine. So yeah, good question. Okay. I bet chopped apples will be good. Yeah, you all, some of you here are very good at doing this. You can add and substitute some things, something like the envy apples that are so sweet, or any other kind of apples that are sweet, plus some dates. You could make it even more whole food by doing that. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll say a couple of things, but I'll be looking at your comments in case you type something else here. Those blackberries you cooked down. Um, let's see. Yeah, I don't know what you mean. I bet chopped up with some of those blackberries you cooked down. Yeah, I mean, I put raspberries and blueberries, but I think you could put blackberries as well. Yeah. Oh, okay, I see. All right. Well, if let me just say something that if you are looking for a meaningful, healthy gift this holiday season, both Shada, Soleimani, and I would appreciate it so much if you just grabbed a few copies of our book. Um, Live Your Healthiest Life. Yeah, that you can't see it very well there, but that's the book. And it makes a great gift. It's available on Amazon. It's truly an international um, cookbook, and it has our stories. It's kind of unique in that sense that it's not just a cookbook, it's a storybook of our stories that I think you'll find interesting. Okay. Did you cook them down or just use them defroster? No, what I did, yeah, I wanted to get fresh, and I can usually get fresh blueberries. But the raspberries I couldn't. So no, I just took them out of the freezer and I just let them thaw for a little while. Yeah, and then I just put it there. Okay. For this casserole, I would use rolled oats. Okay. I would not use instant oats. I mean, I never use them really. Just regular rolled oats. I wouldn't use steel cut or oat groats that are my favorite because that takes too long. They won't cook. It'll get so dry. So rolled oats. Okay. Any yeah, yeah, that would be the best. Good questions. Good questions. Okay. Well, and one more thing I'm going to mention. Well, tomorrow we're going to make one of my favorite of all times. I don't know if you probably know if you've been with me in programs that one of my favorite things are hash browns. So tomorrow we're making a crispy hash brown casserole. So I hope that you will attend. And before we leave today, I'll remind you that there's something I wish you took advantage of this because I did it this year for you all. I really did. I didn't have to, but I see so many people that struggle that I decided that I was going to take away the registration fee of my 7-day reboot, reset, and detox program and allow you to give whatever you can, even if it's $5, whatever it is, but take advantage. December 1 through 7th, that's the last 7-day program that I'm running for this year. Okay, and I don't know what's going to happen next year. So I invite you to consider it, to attend. It's on my website, plantimus.com. What we do, I mean, this is different because there are new recipes in this special holiday edition, easy meals. Um, there's flexibility to build your compliant food and still enjoy the season. And it's just made as around the concept of simplicity. Okay, so I hope you would look at it. I'll send you the link in the email that I'll send out, and I hope to see you there and tomorrow. Very good. Any other questions before we depart? Anything else? No? Okay. I hope you will make it and then let me know how you liked it. Goodbye, everybody. See you tomorrow.